Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. And we're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit saved version. Well, last episode, yeah, we made some great progress, had some great battles, but the thing that's still sticking in there against me is the fact that we went bankrupt. We have no income, although it does predict we'll have a whopping 1,200. And the biggest thing I can identify is the lack of trade from Austria and Russia. Austria, I don't know that I have the ability to overcome their port limitations down here. And there's definitely no land bridge available as an alternative. I have been looking at Russia. Their port down here in Crimea is burning. I think we took a peek at that last time. When we were over here. Okay, I kind of missed it right there, but this port of theirs, their main trade port right here, is burning. A remnant of the Spanish fleet that came up here, so hopefully they will repair that. But after my experiences with Great Britain early on in the playthrough, not repairing their port, I guess I don't want to count on that. So I've been trying to figure out land routes, land bridges, how can we connect somehow with Russia to at least get that trade back. The only other port that I found in the northern seas up here is a commercial port here in Berlin, Brandenburg, or Brandenburg, but somehow that doesn't give us a connection. So that port really doesn't seem to matter. So I'm wondering, even if I find a way to connect a road route, and right now the main road route comes right through here. Unfortunately, there's not a road directly between Saxony and Bavaria. Oh well. And there's not a road directly over here. Of course, Austria's connecting there. So I'm wondering, well, there's not a direct road. So there's two things I'm looking at. Seeing if we can gain and become allies with Hanover. I don't know if they'd be open to it. We've been trading with them, so hopefully they'd be amenable to it. And the other thing I'm actually thinking is, why don't we declare war, take over the Rhineland, and then if we did become allies here, we would gain a potential land bridge for trade, if it's allowed to go through. And that's where I just can't tell you for sure that's how it would work. I have a feeling if Russia would take out Austria's capital in Vienna, this road bridge would then connect through all their holdings, and we should be able to have trade via land and not worry about a port that's easily blockaded. So I'm thinking of making that happen. And why don't we just go ahead and see if the first step will happen here in Hanover, and see if they're up for trade, or I should say an alliance. I don't know, because we already have trade with them, and I'm wondering if an alliance would allow trade to move through their lands. I don't know, but let's request an alliance and just see if they're open to it. Here we go. And we have our military alliance. So I'm happy about that. Step one is complete. That still doesn't give us our land bridge to gain trade back with Russia, but I'm thinking I can declare war on Austria right here. We have the army to be able to take it over. It can make it there in one turn. The things I have to worry about is Vienna's unprotected, but at least initially they don't have an army right there. But if I get an income, I could repair here and move my army to park over there. The only other territory that would be threatened as a result is down here. It's very minor. It's not even an important territory where they have armies. They could easily move in and take over Patras here and knock me out there, but so what? I don't care about this one so much, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I'm thinking it's in my best interest. The only way it could backfire on me if there's more armies over here out of sight that would quickly be able to move against Vienna. that would hurt. But other than that, I think they're kind of locked in Vienna because Russian armies kind of are all around, and I don't think they'd make a move on Vienna. So we're going to do that right now. We are going to take a look at our relations with Austria. And we are a trade partner, but I think we're just going to go ahead and declare war because all my big countries that I would worry about being upset about that, Great Britain, they're already at war. Russia, they're already at war. Ottoman Empire over here, they're already at war. So it really shouldn't piss anybody off that I am worried about pissing off over here. And we're going to do it. I think I've kind of been talking and stalling and trying to make up my mind at the same time. But I think this is what we're going to do. It will be a wall battle, but it's mostly just garrison forces. And I think we can handle it. So let's go into negotiations and let's declare war on Austria. Yes, we're going to lose trade, but my trade with them is being blockaded right now anyway. I won't call my allies to help just because I don't want Hanover to not go, just as I've gained an alliance with them. We'll do this on our own. And we are at war. I don't know, I may have surprised all of you with this move, but I'm really stumped, and especially this late in the game when I have so much control and going from such a high income to nothing with just 2 countries blockaded against my trade. That just doesn't make sense to me, and so I guess I'm scratching my head, reaching and trying to come up with ways to counter that. So let's take our army. We're going to take them all out. And we're going to attack right away, right here, right now. We're talking basically a pretty small garrison. Line, 1 unit of line infantry, 3 mortar units. You know that'll hurt, but we so drastically outnumber them, 6,300 to 1,872. I think we can handle it. Let's see if they'll surrender. And they refuse. If that 1 line unit wasn't there, that they might be tempted perhaps to surrender, but we're going to go down there and fight this out. We'll see you on the battlefield. All right, it looks like it's a star fort. To be quite honest, I think that's a bigger challenge for them to try and defend. I think we'll just have everybody up close trying to rush, and take them down as quickly as possible. What I'll do is I'll dig up where my artillery units are and artillery pieces. Looks like we can come around these 2 sides, and I'll come back and show you how we're setting up. All right, we are set up. We have artillery for this point unit, or point of the star fort. We have artillery for this point of the star fort, and we have artillery spread out over this point in the backside of the star fort. We have some units that can come around to all sides, a few in the back, a bunch of these off towards the star or this side, same thing on this side. And pretty much it's going to be all hands on deck. This units will be able to come right over here. These units in the center towards the star, or perhaps over here. And these units will come up to this far side over here. That's it. Cavalry's in the back waiting for an opening with which to charge through. If things go well, we'll have 3 different openings. There's no way with the quantity of units that they have they'll be able to hold all this. And as I've said before, and it didn't go as smoothly as I wished, I want to overwhelm them. This time we're going to see if we can overwhelm the Austrians. Let's get this thing going. Let's hit this point. And finally, we got our unit over here, and we're going to hit this point. Everybody else, we're going to get moving, because we are going to get bombarded mercilessly if we do not get moving. There's no standing around in this one. No standing around. These units are going to come up on this side for when we hopefully breach. These units will come up over, excuse me, that's a little too much of a spread. I don't need that many. These units are going to advance over on this side. We got these units coming over to this point. These center units coming right front and center. And these units over on this far side. Over here. We're already making inroads, 50% on this point. 44% over here. And 30% over here. I don't expect the walls to hold up super long. They are firing, they are bombarding, and we're walking tall as we advance on these walls. Alright, we've passed 50% here. Keep plugging away. I think we hit 50% back here, almost 47%. I just hate the sound of those mortars boom booming, boom booming as we move forward. That's what I hate that sound for. I'm used to more direct hits than what we just saw there. %, we're getting close. 76%. And our steady advance is happening still. 50% only there. Getting hit hard right here. We're going to bring one regiment up on the point of the star just to get somebody up on the walls. This should come down soon, and then I want to start charging through. I don't see anybody else on the ground right at the moment. And we got it down. Let's go, boys. Time to hustle inside. Is it not down? Do I not have an opening yet? Well, they're coming off the walls big time, so we'll have to hold off. We don't have that breach quite yet that I was expecting to see over here. So we've knocked down the walls, but we don't quite have the breach. So let's try redirecting our fire. To get the full breach, let's get some units up on the walls. We're getting bombarded terribly. See if we can't widen this breach in the walls. Getting over the walls here. We got some resistance up here. We're still climbing, so we can't do the full charge yet. Even being able to take over these gates would be a big help for us. Now we're getting some fire on these guys coming through the gate. Let's see if we can't take this center gate. We're going to have some resistance here. gaining the walls on this side. We have a building captured, which means we have some gates somewhere, and this is our gates over here, although these particular gates are blocked, so we know how well that goes trying to get through blockaded gates. I expect, although we have a wall battle here which is preventing us from taking these gates. Let's fight for them. We have some reinforcements climbing up now. This battery does not seem to be doing the job over here. And let's get some wall climbing going down here. And we can take over the backside. And soon be able to overwhelm. Guys that don't know what they're doing and where they're going, they're fighting down here instead of climbing the walls for me. This unit is not doing its job on the walls here. These forts are very touchy to get through the walls and get them directed and firing over here properly. It's always been my challenge. Like I said, there's too many walls here for them to cover all the walls, and we're eventually going to start pouring through. Better for us to come down here as a unit. For some reason, we are not doing well with this unit here because so many were left on the ground. But we have this gate, it says. Let's see if we can squeeze someone through here. It's going to be hard because they've got units in and out, and they're going to get in the way, and we're going to engage them and have some difficulty getting through that gate. But it's time to start bringing some of these units on the walls down. And the rest of us, we're going to try coming through these gates here. Start making our way in. And we have our first actual breach through the walls. And we're gonna get the sabers out and start charging. Get down here, boys. You have your orders. Get down. You guys also have their orders. They're going through the gate and some other way around. I don't know which, but they're taking their time doing it. big chunk of this unit down, and I think it's time to start bringing them over to attack the mortars. The unit that had been giving us resistance on the walls would appear to be gone. We're going to bring this unit down also. See if we can't fire into their rear. And the orders are not happening very well. You see why I just adore and love these wall battles. Getting units to move and maneuver the way you desire is not an easy task. Okay, we finally are on the move to engage the mortars and break this thing down. Okay, let's melee attack here now that we're finally getting some units through. And we're going to bring you guys also over melee attack against some more mortars. You guys are finally mostly in the gate. And guess what your job is? Melee engage the final mortar unit. And this lightly defended Austrian fort is about to fall. Once we overcame certain AI pathing issues, getting up the wall, getting over the wall, getting through the wall, finally we're having some success. This should be one of the last units to fire. They're almost down here on this unit, and I think we've heard the last of our mortar fire. The enemy general apparently was in this first unit that we took out. And it's just a matter of time now. You can see the amazing and wonderful frame rate drop, which is why I avoid forts as often as possible and destroy them immediately when I see them built and we take over a town. This is their last holdout unit down here. The mortars are gone now. Frame rate has picked back up, and this battle is about ended. About 3, 2, 1, boom. And there we go. We're going to end this battle. Victory. And it's heroic. Lost 1,000 versus their 1872, and the Rhineland is ours. First thing we're going to do is bring down those walls, tear down this fort, and there we go. Now we do have a path via Sweden. There is a way to get trade through on a land route. My concern is it may not happen until Russia manages to take over Vienna to get the true road route, not through an ally, to get our trade back. Yeah, we still don't have trade with Russia. So that's hurting us. But we are back to gaining 5,358 per turn. So that slowly is climbing up. And let's hope we see the end of this bankruptcy right now. I think that's about all we have to take care of. We got a trait gain for our general over here. It's nice to see him get a little experience since he's been holed up in Amsterdam. And we captured our region. So what we'll do at this point is we're going to take our next turn and we will see you on the other side. All right, Austria is wanting a peace treaty. They want us to give them a heck of a lot of regions. Boy, they're thinking high and mighty of themselves now, aren't they? And the Ottoman Empire would like to gain a region if they give us Serbia. They make just they win the prize on this playthrough for the wackiest trade offers, and that would be Mustafa III of the Ottoman Empire. No, we're not going to trade Lombardy for Serbia and give you military syllabus. All right, we've made it to the other side of this turn, and our predicted income did not happen. We did make something, though. We're no longer broke, so we don't have to worry about that, but we got a whopping 2,921. So our trade route idea did not help us out. Oh, well. We have a new A. Let's just move on to what did happen here. We got a bunch of deaths over on the side. Maybe one has been a missionary, since we're just getting a new missionary now. And we have a new military technology. We've finished, what, longitude watch, and it says it's upgrading or going to the next research of copper bottoms, which is also a naval research item, so we're probably just not going to worry about it. I'm happy with staying in that tree. And we have our rakes doing their job. Boom, boom, boom. And let's see. Construction report has shrunk dramatically now. We have a new port emerging, but probably are not going to do much with it. This is down in Hispaniola. It's just going to have to wait. And we've lost our general. Where did we lose this general? Oh, did we had a general sitting in Flanders all this time doing nothing? Shame on me for not noticing that one. We don't need a general in Flanders. Let's see where this general passed. Oh, our general in Iroquois territory has left us. Did we have another general down in this area? I cannot recall. No, we do not. So that would be a nice idea to replace that general at some point. And more natural causes, a Protestant missionary, but he got replaced. This was a Protestant missionary over in India. Oh, this was our, I think that was our starting missionary that we lost, that we had moved up here perhaps. Maybe. So let's get back out here. Take a little look at a little history before we get moving. The pioneering spirit, so vital for survival on the American frontier, is to be furthered by learning and a quest for knowledge following the foundation of the College of New England in the town of Elizabeth. The new college will provide training for Presbyterian ministers under the presidency of Mr. Jonathan Dickinson, himself an active minister in the Presbyterian Church. Though it has a strong Christian element at its heart, the college's charter is unique in its statement that any person of any religious denomination whatsoever may attend. Though the first year's students number only 10, and these attending classes in Mr. Dickinson's parlor, it is anticipated that the college will grow from strength to strength in years to come. There you go. Let's get over here to the continent first, kind of see what we're dealing with, and can we repair our spot here. It's going to cost 2,700. It won't allow me to repair any troops. So I think actually the first area I want to repair is down here, if we haven't done yet, in Sardinia. It's also a lower cost. That's going to allow me to move this army over to Venice. And I think I noticed in mid-turn there is an Austrian navy floating around in the Mediterranean. And there it is, taking a force up undoubtedly towards Russia, I would assume, and their port up here, which I don't see any smoke hovering over it. That might be a good thing. Let's go take a look at trade routes. And our trade from Russia is back. No wonder, holy cow! That, by far, Russia is our most valuable trading partner. 23,551. That explains a lot as to why our income plummeted. Look, it's at least temporarily back up to 30,000 until this fleet goes and lands and takes out that port again. So do I have a navy anywhere nearby that can help prevent this happening? I know I have a navy that I call the Mediterranean Navy, but I don't know their exact location. We have the one ship that's shuttled for Sardinia. Does it happen to be anywhere nearby that we can make a move? In fact, it seems to be right here. Unfortunately, I don't know that we have the reach that we're going to need, and we're going to undoubtedly maybe not have. We got a couple second rates though, so we're gonna let's see the reach of this fleet and see if we can help protect that Russian port that is all of a sudden vital to our economic prosperity, and it doesn't look like we're going to make it far enough to be able to get up here. But I tell you what, I'm darn well gonna make them pay and blockade. We're gonna see if we can't make a statement with them at some point. Can we still make it? We might be able to reach, and we're gonna try to reach with our navy. Now, as far as the size of their navy, it's a similar size, but I have a feeling fifth rates abounds and sixth rates, so we definitely outclass them. Let's go find out. We can conduct a battle and save the trade with Russia, and at the same time take out a huge army that's aboard. Alright, so we made it. It's in our advantage, and it's a big old naval battle, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna fight it out. As much as I dread naval battles of this magnitude, we're going to do it. So we'll see you down on the high seas. All right, looks like we're looking at another brute force battle here. The bad news is the wind is not in our favor, which means I'm probably going to set over here as far as I can to get this thing started so we can at least go across the wind, take advantage of what little we can. I think I'm going to keep the two lines. In fact, let's just do it. All right, we got our ships over here. We're going to start cutting across the wind immediately. I think I'll just, for manageability, I think what we'll do is we will form the two separate lines. Even though it's been shown that the two separate lines move just a tad slower as a group, it's easier for me to control, at least initially. We are. Let's go find out where their fleets begin. I'm not gonna. We outgunned them. Let's put it this way: fifth rates against most of my primarily fourth rates and a couple of my second rates. I'm expecting to be able to overpower them, even though our vessel numbers are very similar. Ooh, and they're way over here. So let's get a move on. So the wind is not so much an enemy in this particular battle. So once we get maneuvered over there, we will come back and join in. Let's take a quick look and see if we can, just by panning by, pick out our... There's a third rate. I have a feeling our second rates are kind of bringing up the rear of these lines. back. There is one of our second rates in the back there. And back over here too. Yeah, noticeably larger ships. You can see the 3 tiers instead of just the 2 tiers of cannon that make these some amazing powerhouse vessels. And this guy, the commander in this line, somehow has gotten screwed up. He seems to be turning off on his own. So we'll just keep him going on his own. Well, I'll tell you what. These formations are not working right now. We're going to manually start taking all these vessels over here. I think my mistake was setting the 2 lines just a little bit too close together, so they couldn't maneuver without disrupting the formations. And that's what caused me to have to manually operate these vessels. So we'll meet back up as we close in a little bit closer. Alright, we're just about close enough for our lead vessel. Everybody else, his lead vessel's far outpaced everybody else. We're about to open the battle, and unfortunately he's going to have, we're going to run the line and get bombarded by quite a few ships. Not going to be in our favor until the rest of our vessels catch up. First broadside taken by the Austrian Navy. Our return fire to follow. I decided to at least start out. We're going to keep at a somewhat of a distance until we can get the rest of our ships just a little bit closer. The formation ended up getting quite spread out. Now they've kind of turned to where they're going more against the wind, whereas we have the wind as we go by them. Really not much in our favor at the moment, just because of the quantity of the ships they have against us to start versus us. Now they're making an attempt to turn a little bit up towards us into the wind. It can work in our favor. Unfortunately, our lumbering second rates are far back. Oh, and they're turning away from the wind at the moment. We got some of their lesser ships here at the tail end. We're going to start turning to go against the wind. And our hull, after riding along their whole line, is definitely weakened on our vessel right here. We're starting to bring the volume of our firepower slowly is coming into range here. We've lost a ship already, a 4th-rate ship of the line. Something happened to this ship. It looked like the hull on the far side is going down. Same here, the hull meter on this side is going way down. We're going to start turning back if we can. We have 2 ships going down to none of theirs. So we're taking an early beating right now. This ship coming around, we're getting surrounded. This one's getting beaten bad at the moment. Our second rates are still not in the bed. Finally seeing some of their vessels routing and having some difficulty compared to ours, but they still seem to be gaining the advantage somehow. Getting in each other's way, trying to maneuver around here. So we're slowly starting to see more of them waver as we maneuver around. But this is a mess trying to keep track of everything. And our second rates have done quick work over here on them. we'll try to get around his vessel and bring them into battle, because once they started getting their guns firing, things started going our way. They have a couple loose vessels over here that we don't seem to be able to corral up. Otherwise, there's 3 over here, so we do still outnumber. As messy as this is, as hard as this is to keep track of vessels, they're quickly turning into the wind is what's happening, and I think we need to see about turning into the wind to keep pace. Sternless here. Totally dismasted. Okay, the ships that had been outpacing us are slowly starting to turn back into us, so that's a good thing. They have one trailing ship back here, which we're going to have to come back to at some point. This vessel here of Austrians has one very weak hull on the one side. We'll see if we can pound it right now. And it looks like we've got him routing and concerned. This one somewhat wavering. We got 2 other vessels here with weakened hulls to some degree, and one other vessel back here that I'm seeing, and one back here. We're going to turn out to try and take this one on while everybody else chases these others down. Nice broadside from our second rate. Has gone down. That was his ship in the lead right here that went down, so our admiral is sunk. We're now down to 1, 2, 3 enemy vessels. Our dismasted is still hanging in there and can still fire if it moves past. Oh my goodness. I'm wavering, concerned about hull damage, extremely low meters on the hull, and looks like we did finally take this ship out up here. Now we got to all start going against the wind. to work on taking them out and getting back to their last active vessel back here. We're down to their final vessel. Whoop, no, this one's wavering and it just keeps coming back every time it wavers. See if we can get a pounding broadside in, and it decided it surrendered. So we got one vessel left coming our way. We're going to try turning our second rate into it. Coming on strong with the wind. We're going to see if we can turn in advance of it. Coming in range of our powerful second-rate ship of the line. We got it wavering. He is on fire. And the battle has ended. What I'm going to do is chase down this one last ship that isn't totally surrendered, just to make sure it doesn't get away. Wouldn't you know it, that'd be the one that has a bunch of troops on it. So I'll come back once we chase it down, let you know how it turned out. All right, we ended up with a close victory. We managed to get a nice broadside in with our second rate to end the battle. Close victory. Sloppy victory, but aren't naval battles always? Is there anyone out there that's really good at these things? I'm just happy we came away with a victory. And a lot of ships available to capture. I think we're just going to take the prize money because we need it. We're not going to capture any of these fifth rates or worse that the Austrian Navy had, and we're just going to leave it at this. We have a badly needed income. We lost our admiral. We have a far depleted navy all of a sudden. One thing we will do then is see if we can't get a new admiral over here and see how far back our navy can go now that we've protected that crucial Russian port. So I think what we're going to do, just because we did have that major naval battle, and even though I'm going to highly edit that naval battle when it comes time to looking over this this episode for release, I still think it's going to end up being long enough, even with a highly edited naval battle. We're going to end this episode right here, come back, pick it up, finish any loose ends we have in the Americas, move on, or in the continent, move on to the Americas, and then move on to India. To end this next episode after this one. So I hope you enjoyed it. Haven't had a naval battle that large and crazy and wacky in a while. And it just shows that they aren't easy and I need some work. But anyway, our plans are still on and we still have a mission to complete, naval battle aside. So please join me next time to see if we can successfully continue on our trek. Become the supreme world power and win this game. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching. I do hope to see you next time.